Hey guys, it's Pixel here, and today I am going to get something off my mind that I've been thinking about for a while. Now, today I am going to tell you why Bilbo Baggins is a big fat nerd in parentheses an essay. Now, let's start when he's at his house in the Shire. And he's like, "Oh, good morning, Bilbo." Gandalf. Bilbo, you're not Bilbo. I'm Bilbo. You're Gandalf. You're a wizard. And then Gandalf is like, "Oh, what does good morning even mean? I don't know." And then Bilbo's like, "Oh, I don't know what it means." He's just like, good morning." It's so stupid. Um, and then next, then they got the dwarves that they look like dwarves. Yeah. And then, uh, and then they're like in his house, and then he's like, "Oh, I say, what are you doing stealing my cheese? Oh, I must say." And then Gandalf is like, "You're gonna be my burglar. You're gonna be a burglar." And, okay. And then he's like, sure, I guess I'll do that. And the next morning, he's going off, he's going around, and then, shoot, what happens in The Hobbit? I don't remember. Let's see. So then, I don't know, they're kind of walking around, and then they find, these frickin' goblins, or whatever, in the mountains. And then they're like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat ya!" And then Bilbo's like, "Oh, I say, why will you eat me?" Gandalf just doesn't exist during this part. I don't know where he is. Wouldn't it be weird if he was, actually secretly looking for Sauron? Anyways, and then he starts telling some funnies. He's a little funny man. He's a stand-up comedian. He's gonna have a Netflix special. And then Gandalf suddenly appears and is like, "Oh, it's going to be daytime now because I said so." And then they die. And then he finds a sword. And then he's like, "Ooh, what if I call it Sting? Oh, I say." He says that a lot. And then they go to more goblins. And then, but Gandalf, it's not Gandalf, Bilbo. He's a nerd. He falls down. So then, who do we meet? We meet Gollum. Gollum's like, "Ooh, I'm going to eat ya." There's a lot of people who want to eat Bilbo. And then he's like, "Oh, I say. But what if I challenge you to a riddling contest?" Sorry, I burped. And then Gollum's like, you can. He starts telling them riddles. And then, you know what Bilbo does? He finds a ring. Who even likes rings? Rings are kind of stupid. But he's like, "Oh, I say, there's a ring. It makes me go, woo!" It's like the Vanished Cat from Mario 64. And then, so then he runs away because he's a little coward who doesn't want to be eaten. It's like, bro, it's like, you kind of, well, I mean, I forgot if you won or not. I think you did, but Gollum is still a little cheater, and he wanted to eat him. Anyways, because I don't know, but then he realizes, uh-oh, the ring is gone because Bilbo likes rings because he's a nerd. Only nerds like rings. And then he runs away. And then the what are they called? I forgot. They're the dwarves. They're like, oh, where were you at, Bilbo? And then he's and he's like, oh, I don't know. He doesn't tell them about the ring. And then they go to like the woods or something. And then Bilbo he gets kidnapped by a spider. You know, in the middle of the fight, the spider. Instead of like being like fighting like a man, he just has to come invisible and then stab them with the thing. But he drops his stupid ring. He stabs another spider with it. I mean, he doesn't stab with the ring. He stabs another. I don't even know what that is. But he stabs the thing in order to get the ring. Yeah. Anyways, so then, and then and then Gandalf, I think he leaves again. I don't remember. And then, and then the elves show up. That was really scary. And the elves are like, dang, I don't like you. We're gonna throw you in jail. But, Bilbo's a nerd, so he just avoids the elves until he can get the keys. For being invisible with this stupid ring. He's like, man... he's a super nerd without super nerd ring. And then, they leave. They get stuck in a barrel. Imagine being inside a barrel, like Donkey Kong or something. And then they go to like the lake town, and then the lake town they're like, "Dang, wow, they gotta go find this dragon." And then Bilbo goes to see the dragon by himself, and then the dragon's like, "Oh, my teeth are like swords. I am super scary." And then he's like, but I just think I'm just gonna like steal your thing and I'm gonna run away. And then Smog was like, oh no, you took my thing. I gotta go kill Lake Town. Some people say that like the dwarves run in at that moment, but like I don't know what they're talking about. Like they're kind of weird. It's like, dude, the dwarves are like. So one of them even told me that like there are like a couple dwarves that like look like just dudes. They don't even have like big beards or anything. And one of them has like a wee lad Gimli. I don't know what that's all about. But that does not happen in The Hobbit. It's like they're not there. He just runs away. Yeah. And then the dragon dies. And stuff, and then they're like, well, cool, yay, we saved Lake Town, where's our money? And Bilbo's like, man, we should give them this money. And then the dwarves are like, man, no, I don't want to. Bilbo, you're such a nerd, like, who wants to give away money? Are you charity or something? Are you Mr. Beast? And then Bilbo, everyone is like not happy, and there's like 5 armies or whatever, and he starts counting the armies like a nerd. It's like, bro, imagine he's sitting there on the rock over there in the corner, and then he's like, what? There's 5 armies? What are they doing? 5 armies? There's like, we have like spiders, and no, there's no spiders. We have elves, dwarves. No, are there dwarves? Yes, there are dwarves. The story is about dwarves. We have dwarves, elves, goblins, eagles, and he's sitting there in the corner. It's like, I just simply do not understand war. Like a nerd. Some people I was talking about The Hobbit with It was like the cameraman, and he told me that he remember when like Legolas was there from like Lord of the Rings? I'm like, what? You're thinking of Lord of the Rings? That's not the Hobbit. And he's like, no. He's like, he jumps on these blocks like Super Mario. I'm like, what are you talking about? You're making stuff up. I don't get what he's talking about. Like, it's really weird. I don't know how so many people like are talking about this stuff that didn't happen. Yeah. But you know, if he did get knocked out, he just like slept the whole time instead of just sitting on a rock and commentating like I don't know, a YouTuber. Hello guys, welcome to Bilbo Baggins Reacts to Things. Today we are reacting to the Battle of Five Armies. But then no, that didn't happen. He got knocked out and he's like a nerd. Either way, he's a nerd. He's like a double nerd here. You know, some of the dwarves, and then the dwarves are like kind of stupid, and then they accidentally die. It's like, bro, imagine dying. That's kind of cringe. Shut up. And then Bilbo returns home with like his little ring or whatever, and then he puts it above his fireplace, and like he stares at it like a nerd, and he walks up to Frodo, and he's like, "Oh, look at my super nerd ring! Isn't that crazy? I got a super nerd ring." And then Frodo's like, man, Uncle, you're such a freaking nerd. Why do you have a ring? And then, you know, he decides that he like likes the elves or whatever. Like he goes to live in an elf place. You know, he was like, who likes elves anyway? Like they're kind of, you know, they got like CGI face going on. You know, like this one just turned into a Smurf. Like that's crazy. And then, yeah. What else happened in The Hobbit? I don't know what happened in The Hobbit. You remember the time when Gandalf went to go visit his friend Radagast? Oh, no, that didn't happen. The Radagast is like, oh man, we gotta go fight Sauron, and then Mr. Anderson, or whatever his name is there. That was crazy. God. Anyways, that's why Bilbo Baggins is a big fat nerd. Thanks for watching this video. The trial video is coming out never. Yeah. Bye.
Man's really spinning.
This is so scary right now, guys. I should have not have done this at 3 a.m., guys.
It's the sun's still out.
I don't care. It's 3 a.m. if I say so. Shut up, Griffinstein. God. The only thing I can see clearly are my hands. Jesus Christ, stop it! Stop.